Hello. Welcome back to another installment of What Would Lou Do. Today we are looking at door lock actuators. You got this problem? Now you'll probably hear that on the other side because I just fixed that side. This is what's supposed to happen, right? And like I said, we just repaired this side, so I'm just going to run through it and show you guys, how pretty simple this job is. Of course, you'll need the part. I'm not sure if that is the part number or if that X0024, all that. But I will leave a link in the description to where I got these specific parts. This car is a 2014 Scion TC. I think it works from 11 to 16, I believe these parts do. But basically the tools you're going to need is a ratchet. I'm just going to use this, but if you need this, or if you use this, you'll need a 10 millimeter. This is not a 10. This is one I'm just holding these bits with. That's a 1/4 inch. That's what that's for. And you'll need either a Phillips screwdriver or a Phillips bit for something like that. And you'll need the star bit or the T. You need something to pry the plastic up with, or the door panel with. I recommend using a trim removal tool, and of course the trusty 10 millimeter that I mentioned. You're going to need that as well. A magnet I used to get the screws out of these holes. It was kind of deep, so I just used that. And yeah, that's basically all we're going to need. So let's get set up here and get this on the road. Okay, so there's a few things we have to take off. You have to take this cover here off. This little cover, this pops up, and then of course all around there are these little tabs that hold it in, and then of course this you can just pretty much just pop off. Just make sure you don't lose those little clips there. This one's pretty easy. If you just pull that handle back, you see there's a gap there. You just put your pry tool in there and pop that out. I can't do it with one hand, but well, I hope I can do it with 2 hands. And then here, this is pretty straightforward. There is a notch right there. Now you can see that right there. You just stick this in there and pry it. Just careful not to mar the plastic. Once you get up under there, you just kind of turn your tool and then you just kind of go along. And there it went. And you can see how now it was holding, and looks like we didn't break anything. Good, so that's a success. So from here, there's a screw in there, a Phillips, and then there's Phillips right there. So we'll just take those out. Like I said, you can use a Phillips screwdriver or your power tool. I'm going to use the power tool. And then the magnet, just pull it out of there. I use one of these little trays to keep your bolts in. I just stick it down there. And we have one more. We have one more down here at the bottom. And this is mainly the one you need the magnet for. But yeah, pull that out. And here's the one at the door panel I was talking about. You just take your tool, get behind there, pop that baby right out. And you can see nothing broke on it. Just a dramatic exit, like a woman. And here, this is just a Phillips. And this will actually be the last screw that we're taking off. All right, so now we're on to the control panel here. The best way I've found not to mar any of the plastic is to just go against this fabric here and pry up. So you just kind of, push back, be gentle. You don't want to rip or anything. And then pop that right up. And then this just pulls back because there is a tab right here. So you just pull back. This tab right here If you just lift that up, that'll snap right off. And now you don't have to unhook this. You can kind of finagle it to where it'll freely hang while you are checking to make sure the new actuator is going to work. This would be a good opportunity for you to, if you weren't sure, right? If you weren't sure that the actuator was the problem and you wanted to know if this switch was the issue, well, then you would, you would locate your powers and grounds. And then of course, you have to be pressing this button before you're going to see the 12 volts popping up on your meter, right? But you would go from each wire, T-pin it, don't poke the wires. Okay, you take a T-pin and go into these little prongs here and beside it, and then you would watch your multimeter and you would click on that. If you saw it go up 12 volts, that's your power. Then you just find your ground, and if all that's good, it's not the switch, it is your actuator. In doing a bit of research on this vehicle, I believe it's from 2011 to 2016, the door lock actuators was actually one of the common faults with this vehicle, and this one having 200,000 miles on it, it's time to change them both. So that's the last little piece we have to pull off. Now you go around. All right, so we're down here. I can't get very low. Oh, we got a chicken photo bomb there. There's actually a little arrow here. I don't think you can see it, but it's right there. That's where you just want to put that tool up under there and pop that up. And then as you go, you'll feel more and more come along. Let's see, all the way up to, I think, about here. All right, now I believe it's loose. Okay, and so once you get that, you just kind of got to come along the top and pop it off. All right, I got to set you down for a minute so I can unhook this wire. You see here. All right, for that one, with the speaker tab, there's a small little piece right there on the side. That was actually pretty hard to unhook, but it went in from this direction, so it's going to be on the right side, but you may want to take a tiny screwdriver and push that in for that one. Okay, so you just slide your door handle out, right? And then, like I said, for this one here, remember I said that you could just pretty much wiggle it down in there, specific way it goes. Right there. So it's done, and it's free. That's everything. That's it. That's everything you got to do to take the door panel off. Now, just sit this door aside. All right, so to test real quick, we are going to make sure so we don't install this for no reason. And like I said, I know this is what this one needs, but you'll just, this tab right here is pretty easy to get to, right? You just pop it out, same way. Okay, you really got to push that thing in there. We just want to hear an audible click when we press this button down here. You look in the corner right there. That's it. And now you don't have to, if you did this, if you got to this far and you didn't check the powers and grounds, this would be your last chance before you went and replaced all this for nothing, okay? So quick and dirty test, just go ahead and take that wire, stick it on, and we know that that's good, all right? Now we just go and remove this plastic here that's held on by this adhesive. Kind of want to try to peel the adhesive off of the door, because this is basically like your second line of defense against any kind of moisture getting down in here in these controls. Obviously you have up here, right, you have the weather stripping that's supposed to repel all that, but if, for instance, water did get in behind, this is your last line of defense. For added protection, I would go back over it with some 3M weather strip adhesive, the black. Very good stuff. Basically the same as this. Super sticky. I've not had any problems with that at all. Once you get that done, right, there's a 10mm bolt here that is for the window track, and that's going to allow us to get the door actuator out of here freely without being hindered by that window track. Again, throw it in our magnet, just slide it off. It's just a piece of weather stripping down there. Okay. Over here, that's where you're going to need the T-bit. Right, so here you can see these are the three bits you got to take out. And that's it for screws. Now this part's kind of difficult to show you, but right in that left corner over there, I mean like really in that left corner, there is a yellow tab. You have to pull that off in order to get that pin to come out, or that rod, and that will allow the actuator to come free from there. So if you grab this and just push it in and pull down on it, it will actually pull. Let's see if I can show you. Okay, on this is the new one. So this tab right here, that's where that little piece goes down into. It goes whoop, right there. And if you just pull that down, it releases. And then for the other one, there's another one that goes in here. Okay, so there's two that go in. If you just take that, pop it back and pull it down, it will actually release. Oh my. What in the world? This thing had some water. I see corrosion all over that. But yeah, this was the, you see you've got that one peg the one up top sticks into. All right, so I apologize that I can't really get you in here closely, but you just have to kind of bear with me and really listen to the instructions, okay? Now, once you get this one out, right, you want to take and switch these things over the same way that they go. So right here, right, you just pull this out, and then that comes that way, right? So you just take, swap it over quickly so you don't forget, right? So it goes in the new one, down, twists, and then right into there. And then here, right, to pull this piece off, you have to pry up this little door. It's a little door out there. And you just, like that. Okay, so it lets this one out, and this one comes up and goes at an angle, right? So same thing here. You put it in at an angle. You got to hold on to the rod because the rest of it wants to hold. Okay, so once you get there, you just slide that up and drop it into that little peg and close it. Stick this back in there. But I can't show you what exactly is going on here. I know a lot of you are going to be, you know, understanding, but there's always that one person that's like, oh, how come you didn't show me every little thing? It's like, dude, how did you expect me to? I can barely fit my own hands in. You want to make sure that it sticks in before you even go and do the other rod. And I can tell you that I'm having trouble with it already myself. It's way back over here in this corner. Yes, okay, so that is pushed in there. Okay, so again, this little cross-hatch thing is pushed in there. So once you pop it in, then go ahead and get those screws in there before that thing moves, because that's the hardest part right there, getting that piece lined up. Oh, and by the way, the The Torx bit is a 27, T27. All right, so once you get those in there, just want to tighten these by hand just so you don't risk stripping. And also you don't want to tighten just one bolt. You want to tighten everything kind of evenly. Once you have everything going, then you want to start it. All right, just make sure they're all snug. You don't want to over torque them, but just kind of go around. Everything's about the same and good. All right, now you just put the window track back in there. Take that rubber, all right, you see, and it slides in like that. And you just drop it in and slide it until you feel it go all the way up. And then when you see that hole lined up right there, grab the bolt real quick. Tighten that also by hand. All right, now let's put this back up as best as we can. And that looks good to me. And this thing, like I said, you need to really make sure that that's in there. Press our buttons. Got it. So now we'll just put all the stuff back together and we will be out of here. Okay, remember how we took it off, right? The top snaps first. Okay, and then same thing around. I did see that there was one clip that came out of the bottom, so I'm going to put that back in. Okay, got that in. So the top, you snap the top, right? And then just go around, tap it, double checking. Everything is, oh, see, I missed one. Everything is secure. Now you can go and throw this little piece on if you want. It just pops in, very simple. All right, and so now remember we had a screw in here, this little panel, and this goes on like this. Insert it into the hole. And remember this slides up and then pops down in the back. All right, so you feel it go in and then pop the other side on. And there we go. All right, so let's verify our fix. Good. All right, what about the other side? Remember we had both of them not working. I repaired one, I didn't show both, but. All righty, we go in. Okay, now it's just time for cleanup. But yeah, that's how to change the door lock actuators on anywhere from, I think, 2011 to 2016. If it's earlier, I'll drop it in the description. But yeah, that is how this is done. It's not very difficult. The only difficult thing really is that pin with the cross on it. This is the easy one. This one, getting it up on that first, that's the difficult part. But otherwise, it's not a bad job at all. Anyone with a little bit of patience and a little bit of instructions, I mean, they can. Oh, look at that little chicken right there, a little chicken. Anyway, little chicken coming over here. What doing all that little chicken? Yeah, I encourage you guys to get out there and do these things. You know, you can pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get this done at the dealership. And it's really, really quite unnecessary. You know, it just takes a few tools, like I said. You don't need this. You can do it with that. Just your plain ratchet. Yeah, this just kind of makes things quicker is all. But, you know, when you're a mechanic, you need things like this for time. You know, sitting here turning wrenches and all that can kind of run into money, you know. Yes, I'm a mechanic, but you don't need to be. You know, you just get those parts And you see, it's a pretty easy job. We appreciate you guys watching. As always, we say, seek the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near, because he will answer. Don't have any fear, right? And not just of these things, but spiritually as well, right? Because the scripture says that the Father has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of sound mind, and of love, right? And if we faint in the day of adversity, the scripture says that our strength is small, right? So don't be afraid of these things, right? Because faith can move mountains. And, you know, it took me faith, right? That's the thing that people don't understand about faith, right? You have faith when you get in this vehicle and drive that it's not going to crash, right? That the brakes are going to stop, that the steering wheel is not going to lock up, that your door lock actuators are going to unlock when you press the button, right? So if you think about it, faith is something that we have to exercise before we actually do anything, right? Because you have to have faith that you believe the outcome, right? And so faith in God is the same way. Faith in his son, Jesus Christ, is the same way. You have to believe in your faithfulness, he's going to be faithful to you. Right? And I'm a walking testament to that. You know, maybe someday I'll share my story with you guys, but for right now, you know, I just encourage you to the same faith you have, that you can do this, is the same faith that you can be a child of the Most High God, right, and a disciple of the Lord Jesus Christ. And you can do all things through him because he strengthens you. All right, so that's gonna do it for this video. We thank you guys for watching, and until next time, we say take care and God bless.